Quick container garden update. Here are my radishes, my beets, and my carrots. This is just an experiment just to see how they grow. The radishes are doing pretty good. The beets are doing pretty good as well. And the carrots are they're so cute and tiny. I don't know how big they're gonna get or whatever, but we'll see what happens with that. Here is my basil forest. I need to cut some of these down and actually cook with them because I have a lot. They're just sitting there. I have some cilantro. Now, I bought this cilantro from Home Depot and it only has two fucking little ass plants in it and it's bolting already. I just got this. So, whatever. I'll just, save the seeds off of it and try to plant some more. I have a really hard time planting cilantro and it actually like growing and flourishing. I have such a hard time with that. I don't know why. This one's not bolting. The second plant isn't bolting, but the first one is. Here I have purple basil, which I don't think is getting enough sunlight, so it's kind of turning green. It's supposed to be a really deep purple, like what's inside the leaves. They're really pretty. I love these. They're so good. They smell amazing, like regular basil. I love them. Over here, I have some parsley in the window. They keep pressing their leaves against the window and kind of getting burnt because the sun is so bright. So I also bought a lemon tree, and when I went to Home Depot and I got this, they had lemon trees, they had blueberries, they had lime. I would have gotten lemon and lime, but the lime was pretty much dead on arrival at the store, so I was like, okay, I'm not even gonna bother with that. So I got the lemon tree, and the lemon, it's a dwarf lemon. It's actually growing very well in this pot. I filled it up with half sand and half of the potting soil mix, and a lot of fertilizer just so it can flourish. And it's doing very well. When I first got it, it only had a couple of leaves at the top, like maybe five. It doesn't have much more than five now. But the leaves were smaller. The leaves were definitely smaller, like really tiny down here, about that size. They were all around the size of this one and this one over there. But yeah, it's definitely growing. It looks really good. I'm gonna keep this going. They say that these dwarf lemon trees actually produce their first year, like after the first 9 months. So that's what I'm gonna do. I also want to get, um, obviously, I want to get a lime tree. I want to get a whole bunch more stuff that I'll probably eventually get later and talk about later. Here I have my rosemary, and I used one sprig off of this so far, but it's doing really well. I think I was over watering it for a little while, and I stopped watering it, and the leaves are actually perking up again. They're looking more perky instead of like curled under like some of these are still. But they're definitely perking up a little bit more. So I'm just gonna let it dry out before I water it again. Here I have my Thai basil. I started these in a little water bottle and they're doing really well. I planted them out in this dirt and I'm actually going to put some pebbles on the soil as well here so it'll look prettier. I didn't want to do it while they were too small. So I think they're at a size where I can actually put them on there like that. Okay. Here is my sweet pea or Malcolm sweet pea. Malcolm actually planted some peas at school and brought it home and I planted it out in this pot and it's growing really well and it has pea pods on there. See, there's one there and it's really big. I didn't see that there yesterday. And there's another one there. I don't think there are anymore. The leaves are kind of like dying off a little bit, but that's fine. What I've just been doing is just popping them off where need be, and I have it kind of like hooked on the window a little bit, and my windows look like crap. Horrible. Anyway, yeah, this is looking really, really cool. It's actually growing really well, surprisingly. My Red Robin tomatoes. These are determinate tomatoes. They take about a month or two to grow, set fruit, and ripen up. Um, these only grow to be about a foot tall, so I put two in this pot just because I just really wanted to grow these because I saw someone on YouTube and they had like really, really tiny tomato plants that were completely packed with tomatoes. So I said, oh, hey, let me just go ahead and grow some red robins or something similar myself.
And I got those for for my mom for Valentine's Day.
Oh, he got his peas for me for Valentine's Day. Oh, isn't that sweet? Here I have a determinate tomato. My tomato plants are actually really, really small. Or it's not a determinate. I mean indeterminate. These are one of the plants that I planted out, and one of the ones that are the same. Well, actually, they're not the same. Because I think I planted like four different kinds. I don't know what I'm saying. But basically, it's an indeterminate tomato. I don't know exactly what kind it is. We'll see when they actually grow. I think I planted the tiger stripe, the black crim, the yellow pear, and the Mr. Stripey, maybe, tomatoes. Here is my peppermint plant. I actually pinched the leaves off of the stems and I buried it deeper. And I have lots and lots and lots of new growth ever since doing that, like tons of new growth. And it's doing really well. Like the leaves are so fragrant. Mm, they smell so good. I have a little bit of white fly issue, but I'm going to keep spraying these with neem oil and hopefully they'll go away and never come back because this is pissing me off that I have these bugs inside the house. So I'm not going to be using the same soil again next year. Here is one of the lettuce plants. This one is actually doing very well. Um, yeah, all the rest of them that are inside, they're pretty much dying off, but this one is flourishing. There are my spring onions. They're really, really tiny and cute. But yeah, they're growing very well. Here's my lettuce. A lot of it is kind of dying off because I should not have planted so much in this container. I haven't harvested any at all. I'm just kind of letting it grow and seeing what happens. Here is my spring mix. It's got spinach on this side and then a bunch of other things on this side like red lettuce and things like that. I have no idea what's actually in there. It was just like a mix of seeds. Back here are my chives. My chives are doing really well. They're kind of falling apart, falling over though, but they look really good. So I also wanted to grow okra. Here I have dwarf okra, and then this one is red okra. Those I just planted not too long ago. They're coming up really nicely, so we'll see how that goes. Because last year they didn't really do too well, and I think I didn't have enough fertilizer in there. But they did well indoors. But this year hopefully they will be good. I did put extra fertilizer in there, so we'll see. Here I have more basil growing. Can we focus, please? No? Okay, whatever. All right. All right, here's my sage plant. My sage plant is looking very, very well. It is definitely flourishing like crazy. It's just sprouting extra branches and putting out extra leaves. And funny enough, I haven't even used this to cook with, but like one time. But the flavor is so good and it's so fragrant. Here, I can't remember exactly what I put in here. I believe it's tarragon, but it kind of smells like rosemary. I am really not sure, but it's still really, really tiny. This is lavender. I got this from Trader Joe's and I repotted it into my own plant, into my own pot. I didn't realize when I repotted it that it likes dry soil. I would have put half sand in it the same way I did for the lemon tree. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let it dry out and hopefully the leaves will go back because you see how they're all curled under? They're not supposed to be like that. They're supposed to be straight up and happy. So we'll see how that goes. This lavender smells absolutely amazing. Here is the Borlotti bean. The Borlotti bush bean. It actually does bush out. Like all the branches are kind of coming from here. And it has lots of leaves. I actually have a bean pod on here. Where is it? Oh, it's down here. I have a bean pod right there. I didn't even fertilize any of these, but this bean pod is actually growing really well. There's a flower. Oh, my windowsill is so dirty. There's a flower. The other flower look like it pretty much. Other flowers look like they're dying off, but that one looks so pretty. And it's like kind of like a lavender pinky color. So pretty. Isn't that beautiful? So I planted out some cucumbers earlier in the season, sometime in April, I believe, and I decided I wanted to put them outside with the rest of the tomatoes. Well, they completely died from transplant shock, just dead, done, just boom, gone. So I said, okay, let me actually plant some more cucumbers. So I planted three different kinds. I planted everbearing. I planted white cucumber, which the white one, I don't know if somebody broke the leaf off of this one or if something ate it. Whatever. I have some like spiders that live in here. This one is really tiny, but that's okay. This one is lemon cucumber. I don't remember what I planted here, but I kind of feel like I might have planted some type of lettuce. And here I have kohlrabi. Kohlrabi, I don't really know how to describe it, but these are really leggy because they weren't in the sun right away and they actually came up pretty fast. But kohlrabi is, I don't know, it's a really interesting looking vegetable and I'm actually kind of excited to grow it because I just want to see how it's going to come up. I've seen them being sold at Trader Joe's and other kind of health food stores. They don't really have them in the regular grocery store. These seedlings are really, really leggy. They just got the window, so they should be fine after now, but yeah. Last but not least, we have strawberry. I got this strawberry plant from Home Depot and it had one nasty looking dead strawberry on it. But other than that, that one went away. It looks really good. I actually when I got it, all I would have gotten more than one strawberry plant, but they were all completely infested with aphids. So I said I was just gonna fucking, take care of it, and I didn't want to get more than one plant that was infested with aphids, so I only got this one. So I sprayed it down every day with the neem oil, and it's doing pretty well. I don't know how this here got broken, but this leaf is pretty much broken and hanging on by a thread. But I have like new growth coming up. I don't know if this is a strawberry, two new strawberry plants coming up, or if it's something else because I didn't plant anything else in here. Anything else? I keep getting weird volunteers in my plants, and I have no idea what they are. I had to pluck out a couple of them so far. But yeah, so far so good. My container garden is doing decently well. It's July almost, and I kind of wish everything was a little bit bigger and ready to harvest at least some. I can harvest basil, of course. I can harvest mint. I can harvest some of the lettuce and the sage and the lavender. But other than that, like, there's really nothing else that I can harvest. Like, my tomatoes haven't even put out a flower yet, not even the ones that are outside in the ground. But that's fine. That's something that remains to be seen. We'll see what happens with that. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and may your garden prosper.